Hello, everyone. This is Jimmy Williams, founder and president of JW Acquisitions and Development and JW Academy. A lot of you guys know me from YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and most of you are going to be seeing this in my Facebook group, or in our couple of. We have a couple of good groups out there. And guys, you're gonna want to sit down today, hold on to your seatbelts today, and grab a pen and a piece of paper because I have one of the most mature, most astute and well-seasoned real estate investors who has, I would say, an IQ of 1,000 when it comes to Airbnb. This guy has literally, I saw what he did. I watched his bio. I see the lives he's touched. I've seen how he's impacted the lives of so many students. And he don't just have a talk. He's got the walk. And here's what I love about him. He has a spirit of humility. He's a humble guy. You know, he's a faith man like me. We both believe in the Most High, Yah. Some call him God. I say Yahushua Mashiach, Jesus. It's the same thing, okay? And we are men of faith. We believe that the Most High called us to do this, what we're doing. We're not just doing it just, as a fluke. A series of things happened in our lives that led us here. But it ain't about me today. It's about him sharing with you his personal story, okay? He has one amazing story of triumph and victory, but not just for himself, but for the lives of the people that he's touched. And the reason I love him so much is, when I first met him, he's from Rochester, New York. I was born in Rochester, Genesee Hospital. I'm not sure what it's called now, And we just began to vibe, and and when I left Rochester, I've been wanting to go back for the longest time, and I haven't. But he's given me a reason to fly back up there. But guys, again, grab a pen and a piece of paper because you have someone who's doing the work. I mean, when this guy has an amazing portfolio, and when you're talking about the wave of the future, Airbnb is where it is. And if you don't know much about it, I'm not saying he should be your coach, but if you had a list of 100 right now that I could think of off the top of my head, he would be at the top of that. But you got to find someone that's in the industry that knows what the heck they're doing, so you don't waste time and money and all those things. Okay. I don't want to call him a guru. I don't call myself a guru. Gurus will make a lot of content and just tell you to go and do it. A true mentor and a leader will do it, show you how it's done, take you by the hand, and demonstrate. We work by demonstration and say, do it this way. And that's the kind of person he is. His students can vouch for him. He doesn't just talk about it. He shows them what to do. And actually, mentors do is we help you along the way and give you access to things. And watching him, I see that's what he does with his students. He don't just leave him, give him a course and leave him out there. So when you're looking for somebody to show you how to do it and do it right, because again, you can do business right and you can do it wrong. And you guys know me. I had to stop associating with people that do business wrong. What do I mean by that? They don't have integrity. They don't keep their word. Okay. They sometimes they just flat out overcharge people. You need to, sometimes you have to charge for a fee, but there's a limit. And then they're brash. They're not really personal. They don't let you get up close and personal. And that's how I judge a real leader. And if you say something, you do it. Let's say you can't do it. Call me and tell me you can't do it. And that's the kind of guy Jim is. He's been working with me. I've been trying to do this for a couple of weeks now, but I couldn't get him on because of circumstances. But he's here today. So I want you guys to get locked in, okay? He has a long resume. I'm just going to read a little bit of it. But when I tell you this guy is, he talks the talk. He ain't just talking. He's like, man, Jimmy, you're saying too much. But I feel I have to say this because there's too many people that are out there and they're just saying things and they don't really have the resume. He has it. So if you go to his page, here's how you find him on Facebook. Just type in Jim G Coaching Club and you'll see his Facebook page here. He has over 10,000. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but it's here. If I can move this around. Can y'all see that? Can you see, Jim, can you see the 10,000 down here or no? You probably can't. Let me go up a little bit.
No.
How about now? Can you guys see that 10,798 people? Y'all see it? Guys, that lets you know that he's out there. He's not a novice. He's put the work in. So I'm going to click right here. Okay. And this is the Rochester Business Journal. Okay. I have it on my other computer here because I want you guys to be able to see this. I'm not going to read all of it, but just a little bit of it just to give you a little background of who we're dealing with here. He goes by the name of Jim G. Is that right, Coach Jim G?
That's me.
Coach Jim G. Okay. My humble brother. And he preaches the gospel of Airbnb, guys, all right? But here, listen to a story. In his own words, I'm James Graham, a.k.a. Jim G, and for nearly 30 years, I've been investing in real estate. I've been blessed with success in developing creative real estate systems for growing portfolios and passive income, acquiring property without banks, without needing experience, and without having to own the property. That's key. That's key, guys. That means that there's no excuses here if you listen to his method. He goes on to say, my win-win principles and time-tested, non-traditional real estate investing methods provide financial independence and financial freedom for me, many of my students, with predictable daily cash flow and passive income. Stick a pin right there. Two things I always tell you guys. You have to be creative with real estate. Okay, you have to find a way to be, you can't be like everybody else. Banks are not lending money, even if you have an 850 score, if you can't show good income. So you got to get creative. That's what he did. But what's most important about everything I read so far, he's created passive income. Now, wholesalers out there, you guys, you like to wholesale, that's good. But I think wholesaling is good when you're just starting to put some money in your pocket. But you got to figure out a way to take that 5, 10, or 20,000 and get yourself some kind of property or get access to a property to rent that thing out with Airbnb. And that's what he's talking about here. Daily cash flow. If you can get daily cash flow, you can fire your boss over the next 5 to 10 years. It's a fact. All right. Let me read a little bit more, and I'm going to let him chime in and get started. I've coached, mentored, and assisted many people all over the world to create a lifetime of success with my win-win principles to achieve their goals of financial freedom for them and their families. I like that, for them and their families. My time-tested strategies and non-traditional creative real estate methods of acquiring properties without banks and without experience have proven themselves over the last 3 decades that my colleagues and I have all been using them. And it's now it's your turn is what he's saying. Guys, he did it 30 years. Now there's so much more here, but what you want to do is go to his page and just click on and go. You need to read all this and see what this guy has done. But I mean, it's just insane. Okay. It's just insane. But what he's telling you is it's possible. You can do it. Okay. You can do it. Another thing I want to show you really quick before I have him come on, because you guys saw my video where I brought him on the team. And he's right. I'm going to pull a little picture right here. This is Coach Jim right here. Okay. The 800 number, if you want to get a hold of him through our system, is 800-314-1452, extension 812. All right. And it's only specifically for Airbnb training and mentoring. All right. Again, you know, I couldn't be happier to have him. I'm going to let him come on now and do the talking and share with us his story, because I want to hear. I mean, me and him have been talking, but I want you to tell the team and everybody out there, you know, a little bit about your background. You know, we know you from Rochester, New York. We can start there. And, you know, what was your passion growing up and some of the things, you know, the highs and lows that you feel comfortable with sharing. And then just share with us. We'll start asking some questions about how you got into Airbnb. Okay? Go ahead, my brother.
Hey, thank you, Jimmy. And,
okay.
I mean, you know, I appreciate all the things that you said about me, and you know, and first I just want to say, again, by the grace of God, right? So, and you know, I don't, you know, the only reason I talk about myself, and when you talk about being transparent, like the only reason I do that is not because I want to, you know, hype or be hypey or be braggadocious, or because I think it's going to help someone.
Absolutely.
And so, and you know, it ain't being proud, because when I talk about myself, I'm also not just talking about the good things. It's
absolutely,
you know, a lot of times you got to share the bad, because how do you help people get through it? Because, you know, many people think that they're the only ones that went through it, and they're not, right?
Absolutely.
So, so that's the reason why God's given us those, you know, given us those things to go through, so that we can trust more.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Trust him more, but also have something to share so others can also grow from it as well, right? And so,
awesome.
So I thank you for that. So, so you know, if you want to just go back, I mean, one of the things I look at when it comes to real estate, I've been doing this stuff for 30 years, right? And I'm 53 years old.
Okay.
Kind of
You look great for 53, brother.
God,
life has been good to you. God's been good to you. Yeah.
Yes, he has.
Yep.
So, you know, and my wife and I have been together for 35, and so, but when I started real estate, it was not the way most people start. Like,
Okay.
I mean, I'm probably the most unlikely person to have done real estate because, I mean, but, and I'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
But it was really about, what was it? What is it that got me going? What got me started? And because of that thing that got me started, that's why I'm here today and able to say that I've been doing real estate for 30 years, and I've been, I've done nearly 700 transactions for myself. I just, made millions of dollars, not because that's how I was, that's what I started out wanting to do. Right. I mean,
stick a pen right there. Yeah. Over 700 transactions.
Yeah.
Guys, this is what I keep telling people. Get with people that have done it. 700 transactions. That just blew my mind, because people hear this thing and, they're connecting with people that haven't proven themselves. So you've done it. You've made the mistakes. But I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to interject. That's amazing. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, and so, we'll kind of rewind 30 years and I got a phone call from my mother. I was in college, right?
Okay.
And that phone call on the other line, I remember it was a Saturday morning, and I picked up the phone and she asked me if I was sitting down. I'm going, yeah, I was actually just lying in bed. And she goes, cause I said, why, what's up? And I knew something had to be wrong, cause she never, started a conversation that way. And she goes, well, I went to the doctor recently, and I really didn't know how to tell you this, but she said, but I was diagnosed with this disease they didn't really know much about, but what they did know is that most people that got it, they died within a year or two. And boom, right? So I came from a single parent household, single mom. I'm the oldest of 3 children. We grew up in the ghetto, poor. And here I am in college, and now my mom's telling me she might be dying. She's sick, and I'm 300 miles away, and I'm thinking,
oh, wow.
I mean, I just didn't.
Wow.
I mean, my world just turned upside down, right? And so when we finally hang up, obviously I'm in tears and everything, but when we finally hung up, only thing I could think about was, how am I going to take care of my brother and sister if my mom dies? Right. And so at that point now, all the wheels are turning, and I wasn't a great student by any means. Right. I was just floating by, kind of getting by.
Right.
And
right.
And then I don't know if it was, the same day or somewhere very close to that day, I saw this infomercial on TV, and it was how to buy real estate, no money down. Carlton Sheets.
Wow. Okay. Carlton Sheets. I'm familiar. Remember that guy. Okay.
I had no money at the time, but I had little money at the time. But you know what? I watched it. I thought about it, and I'm like, well, you know what? At least if I could do that, we'll have a place. I have a place that they can come to, and I can call my own. And so little money I had, I ordered the course, some cassette tapes, some books. And, I went from being an okay student to being just totally driven. I actually quit school my senior year.
Wow. Dropped out of college.
Dropped out my senior year.
Wow.
And I just dug into it. I started making offers. And I got no after no for a whole year. Just no.
Okay, stick a pin. Offers, when you say, were you putting in contracts to put property in the contract and you kept getting the no's? Is that right?
Yeah, I was doing creative financing contracts that I learned from him.
Okay.
And, from the reading, and just kind of massaging some things to see what worked and what didn't. And
okay.
And they were creative creative finance offers where they would either hold paper or do, some sort of seller finance. At that point, it didn't talk about a whole lot of lease options and rent to own and land contracts and all that stuff. It didn't really get that deep like we today, but it was just, seller finance. It's just straight out seller finance.
Coach, hold 1 second. Let me say this. I have to say this to the students. Guys, he said he did it for at least a year. Some of you guys don't want to put 3 or 4 weeks into it. You want to put out 1 contract a month. He did it for about a year, he said, contract after contract. I told you guys that word persistence, tenacity, and it's a word I made up. It's called stickability. It's the ability to stick. Can you imagine where would he be if he just gave up the first year? He went over a year without getting he's talking about getting a contract accepted. He got the rejections. I mean, that's in itself it's an accomplishment that you didn't quit. Go ahead. Yeah.
And again, I always say by the grace of God, because I know
it's by his grace.
But here's the other thing, and I just did a post on this the other day. There's a formula for me, and that formula is through prayer and burning desire. Those two things, when they come together,
yes, sir.
It's like jet fuel, right?
I agree.
So for me, at that point, I don't know. I can't recall if I had prayer at that time because I wasn't saved. Like I didn't know Christ then, but he had his hand on me. He was watching me, obviously. But what happened with that burning desire, like that my reason for having to do that was so big that there was just no wasn't enough. I wouldn't accept no. Right? I wouldn't accept it. And
all millionaires and billionaires say the same thing. No is not an option.
That wasn't
quitting is not an option. Wow.
So for me, that was, it really changed my life because it helped me to understand, like, there was no reason why. There was no reason. I mean, we didn't own our own home. I grew up in the ghetto. We were poor. There was no one around me that owned property. So why should I even believe that I could go out and do this? I mean, everyone, when I left school, everyone thought I was crazy. I was not. Right? And so, but I was determined because my why was big enough.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
And so, so with that, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, but with that, I finally did get my first yes. And then by that time, my whole mindset was changed because I realized that now this doesn't have to be just about me getting a house for us to live in, but now it could be about financial security, financial independence, about really building something for our family, what they, today, legacy, right? Building
absolutely.
And that's where my mindset was at that point.
Wow.
Right? So that's how it all started back then.
And let me interject and say this. You said all those things, and I have to talk about this because it's a very pivotal point, what's going on in our country and in life in general. The narrative for men of color has been, and I'm not saying everybody's like this, that, you know what, if you don't have that father in the home, and if you look a certain way, you're almost destined to fail. And what you did, myself and a lot of others, LeBron James grew up in a single home. It just gives us extra motivation to destroy those stereotypes and those narratives, to do extra. We're not knocking any other race in the group, but what I'm saying is there are some things that are stacked against where you don't look the right color and you don't have access to things. Certain things are not told to you, but you have to make up in your mind, like you did, I'm going to do this. And you said you weren't saved, but you know what? I believe the Most High saw the heart condition. The heart was in the right place. He had his hand on you. He said, he going to come to me later on. But you put the work in. And you have a lot of people that don't know God that are very successful. You know why? Because they still apply the principles of the Bible, sowing and reaping. Hard work. When I say hard work, I mean, well thought out work, planning, going to get the education for certain things. And they prosper too, right? But you said, I don't care if I'm this color, if I'm in the hood, if I ain't got this, if my mom dies, I'm preparing for success, because success is on purpose. It's not by accident. So that I don't care what color someone is. They come to me and say, you know what, my circumstances. No excuses. I'm a woman. No excuses. I'm too tall. No excuses. I'm overweight. I don't care what the situation is. If you determine you're going to make it, and so you're living proof of that. So you got me fired up here. I'm taking over, but back to you.
No,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, right. Right.
So,
Yeah.
And so so with respect to that, I mean, again, God had a plan, because that was 30 years ago. And again, by the grace of God, I didn't have to bury my mom until just a couple years ago.
Oh, wow. Another miracle. He just extended her life. Doctor said no. He said yes. You leave it, because he has the final say. So I tell people, doctor can say 6 months, but if he says no, I'm going to give you 10 more years. No devil, no principality, nobody can come and kill you until he say, you know what? It's time to go. That's awesome. But I think I don't know the whole story, but I think you having that motivation and drive might have kept her around. Maybe her kids, she was like, you know what? I don't care what they say. I'm staying here for my kids. Her willpower. You follow what I'm saying? That's beautiful, man. What a story. Go ahead.
And she finally came to know the Lord, but it was awesome. So with that, that really changed my whole life and my whole perspective. And so, I guess I always had big ideas, in a sense. I mean, I wanted to, I couldn't wait to leave where I went to high school, which was out in Schenectady, New York.
Okay.
I couldn't wait to get out of there. I knew that if I could just get out and go to college, my life could change from this. Right. Yeah. And so I couldn't wait. I mean, when I was in the 9th and 10th grade, I was at that point, I was running around with the worst guys on the street.
Yeah.
And if I would have continued doing that, I mean, obviously we definitely wouldn't be sitting here talking, because, but there was something that was different that again, that God did with me, that instead of going this way, I did come to a fork in the road at one point in my teenage years, where I could have gone this way or that way. A lot of my friends went that way. They don't exist today.
Wow.
And I ended up going that way. And so, and with that, after, I finally got out of there, went to college, I ended up joining the military.
Okay.
And my thought process was, I want to be successful one day. Right? I want to be successful. I don't know what that's going to be, but I know I want to be successful. And
I want to ask you something. When you went to the military, because I have a lot of friends that are from the military, did it make you feel like, you know what, I'm learning discipline now, and I kind of, this may not be what I don't want to stay here 30 years, but did it create more discipline? Because you already had discipline, but I'm pretty sure you went to the military as another level of discipline, and then it gave you some focus on, you know what do I want to do now? What did it do for you while you were there?
Well, I mean, the military did definitely give me discipline. When I finished basic training and I came back, like that was because I was in the reserves. 11 years, and when I came back, that was my best year of college. I mean, I was but I thought I could just run through a wall. I mean, it was and it was just unbreakable at that point. So it helped me to realize some things about myself that I didn't even really know. Right.
Okay.
And even prior to that, one of the ways I was able to kind of, after 10th grade, to kind of go this way and go that way, one of the decisions I made was I started boxing. Right.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that was my sport in college. So I focused on that instead of focusing in on, going out and, and robbing and fighting illegally. I said, let me figure out how to, let me do something that's going to help me. And so I started boxing and ended up going to the Olympic trials in 1984.
Wow. Really?
Traveling the country and, and on the Olympic teams and things like that.
Really?
So that was a big one for me, right? And so because I finally got a taste that things didn't have to be this way. Like my coaches were old, wonderful Italian men that hey Jim, they loved me, right? They gave me
and they work hard. They'll bring the best out of you. Like those guys who they're awesome. Discipline.
Right? Then there's more than this. And so I love them for that. But God put all these people in my life for a reason. So the discipline, then I realized there's more. And going to the military, then I realized, what, if I do want to be something, the whole purpose of this military thing is, what am I doing it for?
Right.
I'm earning a few extra bucks, but you know what? I can learn leadership. If I'm going to be successful, I got to know how to lead. So I'll learn leadership. And so as I climbed, as I was in the military, I went to Leadership Academy, eventually became a drill sergeant. Then I realized, you know what?
Wow, that's great.
There's more leadership out there. So I applied to OCS. And even though I didn't finish my degree, I was accepted because of my other experience. I made it through OCS, became an officer, and then so I learned leadership. I learned how to lead people. I learned how I learned how to lead myself.
Absolutely. You got to master you before you can help other people. Right. That's true.
So that's kind of the background that kind of helped form the thinking, that helped me realize again that it is bigger. It's bigger than this. And so the officer, the OCS and all that stuff, that came after my first house, right? Once I got the house, then I ended up going to Drill Sergeant Academy and then Leadership Academy. And then, but I was on the road, right? I realized that, I gotta be focused. Like I'm not in school anymore, but I can take this other thing and these other two things and make it really make up for what I may be missing in having that.
Stick a pin right there. I got to tell you two things. You and I have a special connection, man. This is going to sound really weird. I'm going to say this first, though. I salute you for serving the country. I salute that. I always honor and respect that, no matter who you are, because it really is. Because a lot of people don't have that mindset. Somebody has to do that job. Somebody has to do certain jobs, and so kudos to you. God bless you for that. But the second thing is, most people don't know this. I told my full story the other day, but the part I left out was when I was a little boy. My dad and I both were Sugar Ray Leonard fans. Okay, you kind of remind me of him too a little bit. But listen to this. My dad wanted me to be the next Sugar Ray Leonard. When I was 5 years old, he would get, because he learned kung fu, karate, and all that, and he took boxing lessons. And he wanted to be a boxer, but that dream came to an end when he had me and had a family. He said, I got to raise you guys. He said, but Jimmy, I want you to do it. So what he would do is he'd get on his knees and have me stand up straight, because I was a little guy. He would tie my right hand behind my back and teach me how to jab, like, the jab, and I was pretty good at it. You know what I mean? And he said, the right hand is a knockout punch. He said, you're not southpaw, which means you lead with your right side. You said you're going to lead with your left. And when I got to be like 12 or 13, I was really, really good, but I didn't have the passion for it. You know what I mean? I mean, he would, there'd be sometimes for like an hour, he'd be punishing. I mean, when I say he's hitting me, his block, the whole Mayweather thing, he taught me how to do all that. And I was pretty good. You know what I mean? But as I got older, I said, Dad, this is not my passion. Listen to this. At 3 years old, he put a pencil in my hand. And that was my real gift. I started drawing. And so I became an actual professional artist later in life. Didn't do it for too long. I could still draw. But that's what I did. I said, Dad, I don't want to do that. So it's like, when you get disciplined, you begin to kind of realize, maybe I don't want to go that far with this. But if I discipline myself, I can have whatever I want. So me and you got to spar one day. You probably knock me out. But when we meet, I'm going to put the headgear on. And I'll show you, I still got the jab. But if you were in the Olympics, you
don't have to spar. I believe you.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I want to get back into it a little bit, because I put on like all this extra weight. I'm off track here. And I think getting in the ring and doing that, maybe I lose 10, 15, 20 pounds, but just don't knock me out, okay?
You might lose more than that.
Yeah. But that was just a side note, but go ahead, yeah.
Listen, I'm glad you actually mentioned that, because when you start talking about passion, like that's the next phase, right? Yeah. Because that's, one of the, so we're forward fast, right? So now you get your first house and I realize that, this can be done, but then now I hope no one gets offended by this. I know you got a bunch of different people on the team.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead.
But here's the thing. Like I started buying into what I call the lie.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because I believe I finally got my first place. I used creative real estate. I only needed $500 down to get that place. He held the mortgage for me, and within a year and year and a half or 2 years, I paid that mortgage off. I refinanced, paid that mortgage off.
Wow.
I put like $15,000 in my pocket.
Wow. Woo.
I bought another house down the street, right? And then I converted that one. I rented that one out, and we moved into the single street, right?
Amazing.
So that's how it all kind of started with me. But then what I realized, what I believed was that, what everyone else is out there teaching. No, the way you buy a house, if you're really successful, is you get bank financing, you get the bank to approve you. Once they approve you, then, after you beg them for it, they approve you.
Yeah.
You got to come up with, you got to kind of take all your savings, wipe out all your savings to pay your down payment, and then you close on the loan, and once you close on the loan, you start, you collect some rent, you pay your mortgage, you keep a couple $100s for yourself, and then you save up again so that you could do it again. And 9 years later,
wow,
I'm doing that, and I have a few places, but here I am now. I'm still working. Right now, the beauty of it is, here it is. I'm working for a bank at the time, because I realized that, okay, if I'm going to go that method, then I got to get a job. And if I'm going to get a job, let me work in an industry that I'm going to learn, is going to prepare me for really ultimately what I want to do.
Wow.
So that was why I went into banking. And so I became a teller. But as a teller, all I did was work part-time. They couldn't pay me enough to work full-time. Because that means if I'm working for them full-time, I can't pursue my real estate goal.
That's smart.
And so I just stayed part-time. And then finally I realized, okay, there's another opportunity in the mortgage area. But even then, it was still only a get your foot in the door. So I said, well, I'm still going to stay part-time. So part-time, I got closer, right? And then eventually this opportunity came up, and it was for a management training. And it was only 12 of us or 11 of us throughout the whole country of the bank that were selected. And, at the time, my manager wouldn't even recommend me. Right. So I had to go around her, and there were some other people in the bank that did recommend me. And so I went through the whole process. I had to go from city to city, state to state, and go through all these different interviews. It started out with hundreds of applicants, and it only came down to 11 of us.
Wow.
At the last interview, we had to interview with all the bank presidents, all the bank lines of business, the insurance, all their presidents, and then they made the final decision as to who was accepted. And
that's crazy. That's crazy.
I was accepted into the program. And so with that, I became, after going through the program, about a year and a half going through the program, working with the bank presidents throughout the country and different managers throughout the country. Then I ended up getting an opportunity to do commercial lending. And
okay.
That's what I did. I became a commercial lender, and eventually rose through the ranks, became a vice president commercial lender.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
Doing very well. And I had the job of my dreams.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
But here's the thing. That's 9 years, right? 9 years from the time I bought my first house. I'm still working.
Wow.
Like, the job of my dreams. But here's the thing.
But you don't have the time. You may have some income, but you didn't have the freedom.
I took that. Right? I took it because that was another opportunity for me to do what? For me to learn.
That's smart. That's smart. Yeah.
For me to learn from the best and also be compensated so that I have more money to invest in what I want to do.
That's smart. That's smart.
That was my mindset, right? And so, but here's the thing. I started getting comfortable because now I'm in country clubs. Now I'm in restaurants. I'm in the corporate suites when we go to, when I clients out to watch the football games or the baseball games, and and so
those big banks have the money to give you this corporate credit card. They'll give you all the pips to keep you around, of course.
So now I'm comfortable, but one day reality hit me.
Yeah.
And the reality was when they started messing around with our bonuses, because the bank was going through some changes, and my bonus in that quarter was supposed to be about $25,000.
25. And
so,
wow.
And we had
in addition to your salary, that you get a bonus on top of that. Wow. 15. Oh gosh.
And so And so, we had already earned the money,
Mm-hmm.
but they were making some changes, and they said, well, what we're going to do is, based on the changes, that bonus that you were expecting to get is now only going to be 10.
Oh,
And
no.
so I had to jump through a few hoops, to make sure
Yeah.
that we had already earned them. I'd already earned the money, and so I did.
So technically, it's not a bonus. You earned it. You just need to pay me. You want to take my, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha.
So in any case, I did eventually get it, but that was a wake up call for me. I said, this will never happen again. I said, they actually, I'm comfortable, but remember, this was never my dream. This was my dream job, but this wasn't my dream.
There's a big difference. You're right. Dream job, but not dream.
So I dusted off the things, and I said, I got to go back to my non-traditional methods. And that's when wholesaling and flipping, there wasn't even a term for that back then. And so I thought I invented it.
You did.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I thought I invented it because I kind of put together some ideas and some thoughts of how to make this work. And I did my first deal, and I made, it was like, what, $25,000?
Wow.
In about 30, 60, 90 days. And I only had $100 into the deal.
And so you were one of the originators, believe it or not. When you started doing it, it was probably you and maybe a couple thousand people around the country. You probably were one of the first pioneers to get it go. So you put $100 into a deal, and you turned to a $25,000 profit in pocket. In
pocket, didn't know anyone anything. I go, okay, something's here. I'm on to something, but I can't tell anybody what I'm doing because this is like, I got to figure this out.
I got you.
Let me see if I can do it again. And I did it again. And this time it took less time. But same method, right? I did it again. I'm like, okay, I'm on to it. Now I got something. Let me really get focused. So for that year, I just got focused on getting it better, doing it better while, I'm working full time. But now I'm carrying 2 briefcases to work. One was my bank briefcase, and the other was my real estate briefcase that after I was done and I punched out and I was done with my clients, I was off and running, right?
Wow.
And
so you left your job and you went to your dream thing over here after your job was over in the daytime. Smart move. I tell people, you need to be working sometimes when everybody else is sleeping. You work your 9 to 5, but you need another 2 or 3 hours a day where you can say, you know what, this is my dream here. If I don't do this over here, you're going to be working the other thing for the rest of your life. I'm smart. That's smart.
At least 2 or 3 hours. So,
really?
So then I did 13 deals that year. I made $300,000.
In addition to your job.
That was just in my real estate.
That's crazy.
I wrote my letter of resignation. I said goodbye.
Actually, you fired your boss. You said,
I fired my boss. I escaped my 9 to 5. I took back my time.
Yeah, good for you.
My earning potential, right? So here's my earning potential. Here's them controlling my time. I can't really, if I'm in there, I can't really go past that earning potential. I took it back. And now,
good for you. Good for you.
Years later, I'm making over $1 million in real estate doing hundreds of deals.
That's amazing.
Right. And so that's how.
What a story. What a story.
And so, we went, so now today, now what I do is I teach my, so let me kind of just track just a little bit.
Okay.
So so doing number deals, and then the market crashes and really now, I got 50 people working for me full time. I got attorneys and paralegals and property managers. And, I got over 250 units in my portfolio, and we're just cranking them out, just, doing rehabs, doing all kinds of stuff, working with people all over the world. And so when the market crashed, like a lot of people lost a lot of money, including myself.
Of course.
And so now, we're trying to, I knew there were ups and downs in real estate, but no one really knew it would last that long.
Exactly. Absolutely. Right. And you caught you off guard too. It just like in 1939 in the 30s, how just
it was crazy.
Bam,
so,
yeah.
We were maintaining for a year, 2 years, and then eventually it was like it was all dried out, so we couldn't do anything more. So at that point, we didn't file bankruptcy or anything like that, but we lost a lot of money. We had
wow.
And a lot of other people lost a lot of money, and that really hurt me because under my watch, some of those they just couldn't maintain either. right?
And the sad thing is, it hurt me about the thing. When that happens, some of them just quit. I mean, yeah, you have to change and do something else, but don't just quit real estate altogether. You found a way to adjust and reinvent yourself. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying? You had to do
but I
something
took a
else there.
step back, right?
Took a
I
step
took
back.
a
Okay.
step back, and
Okay.
and for me, it was that was really where I got the humility from.
Okay. Okay.
Because at that point, like, I went from making millions of dollars to one day I looked and like, I almost lost my own house.
It's not funny, but it's just like God he has ways of saying, you know what, you need to really go back and refocus, and it can be here one day. That's what I always tell people. You can make $1 billion, but you can lose it the next day. Now, the time you don't get back and your integrity is hard to rebuild. So don't get so focused on the money, because it can be going just like that.
And you know what?
Yeah.
My wife, she was, I love her so much. And at that time, she was kind of towing the line for us. She went from not having to ever work.
Yeah, to having to help work. Yeah.
To now doing it, right? And so while I was still putting things together, and so and one day when I said, you know what, honey, if I got to go be a janitor, I'll go do it, right?
Yeah.
And I was, and really,
that's humility. That's humility, because that's not you. That's not what you do. But you will do to take care of your family.
And for the whole time, I'm like, no, there's no way. And one day, and we got a phone call too. It was one of my students that my high school students that we used to coach basketball. And his mother and father owned a cleaning company, and they actually called me and said, hey, coach, I heard you might need some work. And I said, yeah, what's up? And she goes,
wow.
We got, here, this is the company we have, and we have some contracts, and if you wanna help us, we can get you some work. And I said, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll help you. And
now you're a strong believer like me. The Bible says this: if a man doesn't work, he shouldn't what? He shouldn't eat.
Yeah.
And I respect you for that, for doing that. Even if it's so for a little while, you say, I'm gonna do what I got to do to help provide for my family. I respect you for that. Yeah.
God was faithful, because soon after that broke, and I said, yes, I will, because I was saying, no, I won't all the time.
Yeah.
Said, yes, I will. He brought something in that said, no, you won't.
Wow.
I'm putting you back in the place where you're supposed to be, but I need you to trust me now.
So he gave you a test to see, let's see if this guy gonna humble himself. He gave you everything you got anyway. I mean, you might have worked and done all that, but he's the orchestrating pieces behind. People think it's them, and then he's gonna test you like he did Job. Okay, Job did not say anything bad. He said, you know what? I'm not gonna blaspheme. I'm gonna keep my mouth right. And guess what? He got restored again. Sounds like a Job story, man. So as soon as you got your mind right, it
was nuts. And so, I mean, I did everything back just like that, but he put me back in the place that I was passionate, right? We talk about passion. And so when we start talking about passion, I was passionate about real estate. I loved real estate. I like real estate. Like I felt like I knew real estate like the back of my hand, because I'd done so much. I mean, everything I touched turned to gold. It was just, and so in any case, I kind of started building, but it was interesting. I started getting back into doing deals, and something in my spirit just wasn't right. This wasn't right. And I did some virtual wholesaling. I was doing some things, and I was making money, but it just wasn't right. And I said, Lord, I don't know what you have for me, but whatever it is, please show me. And guess what he did? He started bringing people into my life that were talking to me about helping the homeless. And I'm going, they were actually coming to me and asking if they could use a couple of my places for, and I'm going, we could talk about it. And then before you know it, I was volunteering, helping one of my brothers at the homeless shelter.
Wow.
And then, and so I'm going, okay, all right, Lord, there's something you're doing, right? There's something you're doing. So the next day, he spoke to me. No, when we finished that, the first time I volunteered, he goes, I was in the car, and he goes, James, this doesn't have to be a once a quarter or once a year thing. And I go, oh. So I walked back inside. I got out the car and walked back inside, and I talked to the staff there, and I said, I have some places for rent, and if you guys ever if you got guys that ever need some space, let me know, and I'll do what I can to help them.
Wow.
I'm starting to get calls from the shelter. So what I ended up doing is I started turning my real estate properties into homeless shelters.
So you found purpose. The Most High gave you purpose for what you had. That's purpose. See?
And I did not want to do it because
you didn't want to do it. Yeah.
Like I didn't want to do it. Number one, the reason why I didn't want to do it was because from the beginning, like although I had all those units, I had a lot of people around me because I didn't like being a landlord. I didn't like that. Like I knew it was necessary. Go ahead and do it. But like I do deals. Like I do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, I bring in the properties. I put the deals together. I get it all done. You guys handle the toilets. Like I don't want to do all that stuff, right? It's not a good use of my time.
Yeah.
So I'm dealing with guys that their lives are a mess.
Oh wow.
And I'm going like, Lord, this is what you want me to do?
Yeah.
Now, when I finally decided that, okay, all right, I'm going to do it. This is what I'm going to do. He showed me some other things where at a point, there wasn't anything more I wanted to do. In fact, I stopped wanting to do real estate. I was just guys.
Really? So your whole focus changed after a while. You kept resisting it.
He changed my heart. He changed my head.
Powerful.
And it all started to change. And for 3 years, that's 3 or 4 years, that's all I did. I was just doing the ministry. And every year, he continued to grow my portfolio, even though I wasn't looking at property. People say, hey, Jim, I got some more property. Are you interested in this deal? And I'm going, okay, if you would accept it this way, I'll do it. And they were just all, again, huge deals, big equity, little entry price. So anyways, let's fast forward a little bit. I was in coast mode. I was just like, I'm not really trying to do this investor thing because my spirit wasn't right about it. I just want to serve. And then my daughter graduated from college and she goes, Dad, you know what I want to do now that I graduated? I said, what, honey? She goes, I want to come and work with you.
Wow.
I want to learn real estate. And here we go. She brought me out of retirement because my whole desire was to be able to take the gift that he gave me of the knowledge and the experience, pour it into my kids if they wanted to. Not to force them, but to pour it into them so that they understood that if you ever go to work for someone, it's not because you have to, it's because you want to.
That's good. That's good.
And so that was my opportunity. And people were begging me to mentor them and all this. And I'm like, no, bro, I don't do that. Like, I don't do that. Well, she brought me out of retirement. So I brought someone to help me with the ministry. They took over a lot of that stuff, the homeless ministry that I
Wow.
And I just poured into her. We did rehabs, we did some flips, we did some wholesaling. And then that's how Airbnb was born, because I said, honey, you're doing a great job with this stuff. But now this Airbnb thing that I've been hearing about, that I just, something's here and I just want to check it out.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what I did with the men and what I did with the women's housing in my homeless ministry, so they were all shared housing where the men would share their housing. They would have their own private rooms and they would share the bathroom, kitchen, living room, areas. And I did the same thing with the women housing. Okay. And I said, I'm going to do that with Airbnb. I'm going to do shared housing. And I'm also going to try it here in the city. Not in the, but we're going to try it and see how it works. She goes, Dad, that's not going to work. And I said, you know what, honey, if it doesn't work, what do we lose? Just a little bit of time, right? So I said, let's get to it. We'll try it. And I used one of my places to start. And so I tested it with one of my places, and it worked.
Wow.
And I said, okay, let's try it again. And I tested one of my places and it worked. So I'm going, okay, now we got to ramp this thing up. And so what we did is we went from 0 listings to 21 listings in 9 months. Wow.
And under a year, 21 listings. Wow.
In 9 months. And now I show a lot of people the portfolio, but that portfolio that I started with her last year, it ended up generating $144,800. That was the end of it.
Wow. That's cash flow. That's cash. I mean,
that's cash flow. Now, and so what happens is, I use the same strategy, creative real estate, Creative real estate. When I grew the homeless ministry, I didn't go out and start buying a bunch of buildings. Like I already had some buildings, but I grew that up to 50 units by using the same creative methods where I wasn't necessarily owning everything. Right? So there was some properties that I bought, and when I picked them up, they had tenants in them already, traditional tenants, or they were commercial. And I didn't force people out, right? But when people left, I turned them into homeless ministry.
Oh, wow.
But there were some people that were there even before I owned them, and they never left. And so I'm not going to force them out if they're
they're paying the rent. Exactly.
Right? So I still had my traditional rentals, but I'm like, okay, I can't buy them fast enough to take care of the people that had a need. So why don't I just go out and lease some places, let people know what I'm using it for, and if they're okay with it, I'm just going to use it for housing ministry. And that's what I did, and it worked.
Wow.
Grew up to over 50 units doing that.
Wow.
And then I said, you know what? I can grow the Airbnb thing the same way.
That's amazing.
That's how I came up with the strategy that I use today. And so
amazing.
So what we did is we grew that thing, and then at 9 months I said we got to put a halt on this because I'm working like 30 hours a week just trying to
really
thing.
Okay.
And the reason, there's a method to the madness. The reason why I did that the way I did it, and we did everything, is because I needed to learn the business. I wanted to understand it so that I could tweak it, so that I could simplify it, so that I could systemize it, so I could get that thing to really work for me and support my passions. Why am I really in this, and why am I doing this?
I gotcha.
The reason why I'm doing this is what? She brought me out of retirement. I'm doing it for her. I'm doing it for my son. I'm doing it for my youngest daughter. I'm doing it for my nephew who we adopted, special needs. I'm doing it for them. I'm doing it for my grandchildren who I don't even have yet. I'm doing it for my wife, right? I mean, it's about—
Let's talk about legacy, leaving a legacy for them.
The legacy, but remember that big why from the beginning?
Yep.
If it's big enough, then nothing's gonna— no is not even an option. Right?
I tell people, if the why is important, it's the most important thing. The how will come along. You'll figure that part out. That's powerful.
And so what we did was, now today, my Airbnb stuff, I spend about 30 minutes a day on my apps.
That's it.
And it doesn't matter where I am in the country, where I'm in the world, it generates, and it's every day. I'm getting an electronic funds transfer typically every day in my account.
Really?
Where I am in the world.
Wow, man.
And if you'd like, I could show you how that looks right here. I could share my screen. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's
a beautiful thing, yeah.
Right? And,
I want to do a follow-up with you in a couple of weeks, and we can invite people on, and I'll let you do it from your end, you know what I mean, or whatever, so you can show them. This is insane, though. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the whole point, I guess, I wanted to make in all this and talking about all this is to encourage people that it can be done. Now, the beauty of the Airbnb thing, and this is why, out of all the portfolios I have, the reason why I love Airbnb the most is because two things. One, it of the cash flow. Like, it's daily. I don't have to wait monthly when I'm,
I love daily cash flow. I love that.
Every day. And I don't have to talk to people, although the way I have everything systemized, they feel like I'm talking to them almost every day. That's why I get my 5-star reviews all the time, because my systems are always in communication with them, right? And so everything is automated, everything is systemized properly. So it takes away a lot of the work. That was probably half the battle. That was probably half of the 30 hours a week that I was spending with the communication that I have with everyone. Now that's all automated. And so that's one. The people that you deal with, they're coming, remember, it's global. They're coming from all over the world. Like, I don't deal with locals. My niche is professionals that come in from out of town, and they're here on business or for an event or to visit for whatever reason. And they're just looking for a nice, clean, safe place that they can lay their head
for a few days, exactly,
while they're here. And they're coming from all over the world. And so we're always getting people coming in. And I don't have drama. When they get here, they're so happy. They're so excited. Right? They're loving us. They want to meet us. I've even been to dinner with people.
Have you?
Yeah, because they have so many interesting stories. I haven't met a guest probably in, 6-7 months. It's been that long. But in fact, there's actually one that extended in my place for so long. Eventually, I ended up sharing the word. He's now going to church, getting saved. It's awesome, right?
It's fantastic.
So, but it's all a ministry. Everything I do, everything we do, it's a ministry, right?
I love that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Right.
But that's one of the reasons why I love it. But the other reason why I love it is this: return on investment. Like, remember, when I pick up a place and I'm paying rent, I'm picking up that place, I'm paying, instead of buying that house for $300,000, and whether I'm paying cash or if I'm coming up with 60 grand, 20% down, 60 grand, and I'm still going to make the same amount of money on Airbnb. It's whether I own it or whether I lease it. So here's the thing.
Powerful.
Instead of taking 60 grand or 300 grand out of my pocket, out of my account to pick up this property, I'm keeping 55 in my bank or 495 in my bank.
Right.
And I'm only coming up with 5 first month's rent security deposit. It depends on what area you're in. In this case, the place that I pay the most for is only $1,800 a month.
Wow.
You know how much that one generates for me a month?
How much?
It generates $6,000. So after I pay my rent, I'm keeping $4,000 in my pocket after I pay rent.
That's one property?
So that's one property.
Now let me say this. And we went to, and this is going to confirm that, my wife and I had to do ministry, a whole ministry team. We had to go to Pompano Beach, Florida. This was about 2 years ago. And, it was like 4 of us. We were planning this big thing we were going to do in Jamaica. It was, for like 3-4 months. But we went to Fort Lauderdale, and went to this place on the beach. Listen, just to get together and come together. We said, well, we got to do Airbnb. And it was a 2-bedroom. It was on like a, it was a boat in the back. It was on the water. And we went to Airbnb, and the guy said it's $200 a night. Well, we stayed 30 days. $6 grand, and he was a nice guy, but I can only imagine, it's a nice place, but he probably didn't pay no more than maybe $300,000 for it. I don't know what his mortgage was, but he profited very well. And I'm like, $6 grand. I was kind of upset about, because I was just getting into real estate, but I didn't understand, if you don't own that property, you got to pay for it. We had to come together quick to get this money, because every week, we rented it for like 8 days, and we realized we got to stay another 8 days, and we had to keep paying him. And he brought someone in there to clean it like once a week. It was an immaculate place though, but he was $6,000 richer.
Yeah. And here
1 month. Yeah.
Yeah. And and here's the thing. The difference is today, how Airbnb changes the game is that you don't have to own it.
That's fantastic. Right? That's fantastic.
That same place, the landlord called me about 5 months ago when the lease was coming up, and he goes, just kind of getting ahead of the game. And I'm just wondering if you're gonna, he texted me, if you wanna renew. And I go, you must have been reading my mind. I said, in fact, not only do I want to renew, but let's go 2 years out. And he goes, oh, I would love to do that. He says, unfortunately, what I don't want to do, I can't go 24 months because I got this other thing happening, and I don't want it to end up that the lease is ending in the middle of the winter. So can we go 21? I said, yeah, let's do 21. Like, why wouldn't I? Think about this. I'm making, on that property alone, I'm making 2 times. I'm tripling the rent. When I pay it, I'm putting double the rent in my pocket.
Wow.
So, but on most places, the minimum, our formula is, when you follow our formula, you do it the way I do it, the minimum you're going to make is double your rent. So if you're paying $1,500 a month for your rent, you should be bringing in minimum of $3 grand.
Wow.
You pay your rent, you're keeping $1,500 in your pocket. And so think about that from an ROI perspective.
That's fantastic.
What am I making? I'm making about 100. I'm making 100%. I mean, once you
profit in your pocket, exactly.
Right.
That's fantastic.
Facilities and things like that. Maybe it's just under 100% return on investment per month. That's over 1,000% return a year.
That's fantastic. So that's unheard of.
The question is, how many times do you do that? Like, how many times should you do it? And the answer is as many times as you can. Right? If you're in your right mind, right? And it's easy, like it's simple. Like if you have the ability to rent a unit, then you can rent a unit. If you have the right methods in place, you know how to do it properly, then you'll be able to generate revenue from that. And the owner, here's the thing, I just have one of my owners, he's He's a local. He's a local official. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
He's a local official, and he's pretty high up.
Okay.
And he owns like $6 million of real estate down in Florida. He owns a bunch of real estate here in town.
Okay.
And after the first one that he did with me, he was a little skeptical at first. It took him probably about a month or so to kind of do a background check on me. I knew he was checking me. He didn't tell me.
He's checking you out, yeah.
The deeper that he got in that check, he realized, man, this guy's in the same circles that I'm in. So eventually we ended up doing business. And then a few months later, he told me he had another one. He wants me to take it. And he gave it to me a lot cheaper than what he was getting.
Wow.
The reason why is because it's a passive income investment for him now, because he doesn't have to deal with any tenants. He's dealing with a peer. I'm his peer. I'm a real estate investor. You don't have to worry about work, taking care of that place. I got my own guys. We take care of everything. I don't need you to do anything.
Right.
So he loves me. We have conversations about real estate all the time. He just told me the other day, hey, Jim, I got a beautiful four bedroom coming up on the water, and I'm going to give it to you for $1,200 if you want it. I said,
really?
Let's do it. So that's what happens. They love you. My first ever that I did, the woman was a professor who moved down to Atlanta.
Wow, really?
And we did the Airbnb at her place in the suburb. And I asked her a few months later, I said, hey, how's it going down there? She goes, it's going great. I said, are you coming back? She goes, nope. I said, how would you like to give me an option to purchase the place? She says, yeah, let's talk about it. I put together the paperwork. We did the option. I purchased the property. I did an option this was in the suburbs now. Rochester's a lot different than down there.
Yeah.
The option was on this nice townhouse. I got it for 98. I sold the property for 128.
Wow.
Right? 123.
Okay.
So, no, I'm sorry, 128. After paying the closing costs for her, I paid all her closing fees. I netted $23,000
wow.
in my pocket, and that's not counting the money I was making on Airbnb while I had it. And so the beauty of it is the only point that I make is that the people that you're doing business with, if you do it right, they come to love you because their property is better than it was before they gave it to you.
Absolutely.
Right? Because you're taking care of it. So that's Airbnb, and what it does for me, again, and this is the whole point. So I'm done talking about that, but here's the whole point. That type of investment now supports my ability to do the things that I'm really passionate about. And it's not going out and buying 1 million properties anymore. It's about spending time with my wife and my kids. It's about spending time in the ministry.
Yeah.
It's about spending time with my students. It's about traveling. I love to do that with my friends. So I love doing those things, and all those things I don't get paid for. I don't get paid for the ministry. I don't get paid for spending time with my wife and kids. I don't get paid for traveling. And my students, even though I get paid to coach and mentor, it's not even close to what I pour into them. So
that's amazing.
I don't get paid for all those things, but those are the things I'm passionate about. And if I'm passionate about those things, I don't ever want to be limited as to how much I can do it. And that's my passive income. That's why I have it set up, because that supports my ability to do all those things as much as I want.
That's amazing.
As I want. I don't have to do it, but that's what I love to do, and that's what my students are also doing as well. And so when I work with people, before I even invite them in, because it is invitation only, I need to understand, as I mentioned to you earlier, what are you doing this for? I had someone earlier say, "Oh, I'm doing it because I want to get some I'm like, no, that's not it. Like, what are you really doing it for?
Right.
Doing it for honestly, I don't think you're going to be a good fit, because if you're not passionate about this, if you don't have a big enough why, then I need to I want to pour in and be able to help people's situation. I don't want. I'm not just trying to do more deals. I could do that myself. Right. I want to help the situation, and when I sit down with people, I get deep and try to understand really what the whys are. And they're all pretty much universal. They're all the same thing, but it's about our gifts too. There's a lot of people who have gifts that they know. I was just on the phone with a new student yesterday. She goes, "Jim, I feel like a fish out of water." And this is why I feel like a fish out of water, because this is where I'm at. And And I'm so grateful for where I am. But
Mm-hmm.
God's given me a vision for this. And,
Wow.
And it's just burning inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get there. I got, you know, I have a father who
Mm-hmm.
at one point was healthy and vibrant
Mm-hmm.
and successful. He fell off a ladder. Now he's crippled.
Oh,
And
wow.
he lost everything. And Jim, I'm the oldest out of
Mm-hmm.
all my siblings. And
Mm-hmm.
everything just seems to be coming at us.
Wow.
Right? I got kids. I got a family that I want them to know more than what we have now.
Wow.
And I've been studying Airbnb. I've been watching this and watching that. And I just stumbled across you. And you just resonated. And
Mm-hmm.
so the reason why I want you to coach and mentor me is because you,
Mm-hmm.
what you're saying to me just is touching exactly the reason why
Yeah.
I'm doing this today.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Right?
Amazing.
So that's what it's about. It's got to be about your passion. If it's about your passion, it's about your gift, it's about your calling,
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
do it. If it's, you know, and I'm not saying, you know, everyone has it. Everyone has a passion. Everyone has a calling, but it can't be just about the money. If it's just about the money, like you said earlier, it doesn't, you know, it's
mm-hmm. It's not gonna last. It's not gonna last.
And even if it lasts physically, spiritually, not. I mean, you're gonna be missing something. You're gonna
know there's gonna be a big void in your heart. You're absolutely right, in your spirit. Yep.
In your heart. And the last thing I'll say, this is the last thing I'll say, is that whoever's out there kind of listening to this, my thing is this: whatever God's called you for, whatever that thing is that's burning inside of you, like just like that thing that I wasn't called, that I was called to do, but it wasn't burning inside of me. With the ministry part, the homeless ministry.
Right.
When I finally submitted and realized that that's what I was supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
I didn't want to do anything more. And guess what? Throughout that time, God used me to change lives.
That's powerful.
Used me to change lives, many lives. And that's far greater than making, you know, the money, because that's for all eternity, right? That's
amazing.
Forever.
Absolutely.
And if you know, if you don't follow whatever that calling is you have, if you don't follow it, there's people, and you were saying it earlier, there are people that you don't even know yet that are depending on you.
Absolutely.
That are depending on you. And if you just follow, you just be faithful and follow that calling, you know what it is. You know it because you just can't sleep. You know it. You follow that calling, and you're going to step into that place, into that vision. One day you're going to wake up and you're there. And all those lives that you were supposed to affect, whether it be your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren that you don't even see or know today, people that aren't even part of your family, people that you were meant to affect, you're going to realize that you've done it. You're doing it. And so that's it. That's it. I appreciate, man. I appreciate you having me on. And I don't know if you have any other questions. You know, I get long-winded because I'm passionate about this stuff, but it's just so that people can see.
Well, take a look at my face. I'm just like in awe. I'm like astonished. And I give the glory to the Most High, how he took your life and transformed it. I mean, guys, if you're watching this, this is a story of a man who had a lot of hardships, but decided that he was going to make a difference. And if I can tell you anything I took away from this, is that you have to live a purpose-driven life. And circumstances come in your life to alter and change things around, and you have to make the necessary adjustments. And I love just to recap, how you came out of retirement for your family. So that's very selfless. Some people are selfish. Some people are like, I'm a millionaire now. I'm not, even for my kids, let them go get their own job. And you said, you know what? I'm going to help her. And I like what you said. You didn't force your kids to do what you love. You let them come to you. And so you've inspired, man, I'm gonna see what I can do to make this video go viral, because you've inspired me today. You've taught me today. And I consider you one of my mentors, because, you know, I tell people you need people around you that know more and have a specific niche that they're passionate about. You're right. I only got out of bed in the morning because I'm passionate about helping people. That's it. And you do the same thing, as that's why we connect so well. We understand that there's coming a day where, like you said before, you had all this money, you lost it in a day. You don't rely on those things. Relationships, the integrity, sticking with something long enough, helping somebody else out of their situation, your homeless ministry, you know, that touched the heart of the Father. And he said, you know what? You touch my people, I'm going to touch your bank account. That's how he works.
Amen.
That's how he works. If you guys think about the bank account, I know some of everybody's not like us and not always spiritual, but trust me, I had a mentor. He's in Florida. I haven't talked to him in a while. He said, Jimmy, I had a friend. He was worth about $200 million, and he jumped out of a window, killed himself. He said, you know what? The money didn't make him happy. There was something in his heart where he was empty. Yeah. He said he had all this money. So he just talked to him. He jumped out of the window and killed himself. So guys, this is a stern warning in a loving way. Don't just chase the dollar. We all want to be free, but true freedom is liberty with family, liberty with relationships. Again, doing it the right way, finding purpose. That's what I got from everything you said today. You move me, man, you know? And I always tell, and I say this all the time, when you find mentors that can do things and know things and have been there and done that, you put the sweat equity in, listen to them. You know what I mean? I mean, I didn't take notes because I'm so tuned in. I got this little notepad here, and my wife will tell you, I always take notes, but I was so inspired today, I took it into my subconscious mind. I hope I can regurgitate it because, you know, as soon as you wake up in the morning, that's the best time, the first 30 minutes to, you know, your brain frequencies are, your wave frequencies in your brain are the best to intake things. And even when you go to bed at night, but I'm going to try to retain what I heard. And I actually got, you know, I recorded this, so we good. I'm going to listen to it over and over again. But I want to say this to you in closing. Again, guys, he said it's by invitation only. So he's on our platform. So just because he's on our platform doesn't mean he's going to take everyone. He's going to first of all want to know what you're all about and do due diligence and see where your heart is at and what your passion is and all that, because he doesn't have time to waste. So I'm going to ask you, how do you want people to contact you? Do you want them to go to your Facebook page, or do you want them to call the number? And then do you want us to have people come to you that way? Because you may have an avalanche when we put this out there of calls. And, you know, I don't want people bombarding you because, again, people know that Airbnb is the wave of the future, and they can't find anybody to mentor them. So you came in, it's a paradigm shift in real estate, and you're at the forefront of it, really. You're teaching me, you know? And so do you want them to contact you on your Facebook page or the phone number, or what would you, in closing, or do you have a website or something? What would you tell them if they want to contact you?
Yeah, there's a couple of ways. And this actually would probably be helpful too.
Okay.
If they go to my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Right. If you go to the YouTube channel, that's I got two things. I got a Facebook group, Airbnb Facebook group that right now it's open, but that eventually at some point will be closed. And it'll be also it'll be more of a private group, but it's open. You still have to request to come in.
Okay. I'm going to go to YouTube right now. Okay.
Right. When you go to the YouTube channel, what happens is on my YouTube channel, you're going to be able to go in and just get a real feel for some of how some of this stuff works. Like they'll be able to take just from my videos and they'll see some of the success stories from some of my students. They'll also get some training, some free training that they can actually go out and implement today and realize that this stuff works, because I got a lot of people do that. They call me and go, hey, I was just on this training. I've been watching all your stuff. I've been binge watching. And in fact, I instituted this and I instituted that, and it's working. And now I realize if that's what you're giving for free, like I want to know, you know, how do I get a part of this? And so go to the YouTube channel.
How do I type it in? Can I type it here? What do I type in?
YouTube. If you go to YouTube and then just type in Jim G Coaching Club.
Jim G Coaching Club.
Yep.
I'm just doing that for them for demonstration so they can see how it's done. There he is. That's my man.
So then you go on.
I'm going to subscribe myself right now.
Subscribe to the channel.
Right there. Okay. You probably can't see that, but I just subscribed.
I did. I see
awesome.
it.
Oh, you saw it? Okay, awesome.
And so what you get there is you're going to get, you know, you'll get some stuff. And then in each video, there's a description under each video where it allows you to do a couple things. One, it shows you how to get to my Facebook page.
Okay, good.
It shows you how to contact me on all the social media. And it also shows you how, if you decide that you want to And that's Susan. That's one of my.
Oh yeah, I saw this yesterday. I was like, wow! I put this on our page. Well, yeah, that was fantastic.
So what it also will allow you to do is if you've gotten to a point where, you know what, Jim, I'm just, enough is enough. I've seen enough, and I really want to be a part of this thing. Two things. You could do two things. You could schedule a one-on-one live video appointment with me. And when you do that, what'll happen is you'll get on my calendar. I'll have to approve it, make sure the times are good. I'll approve it, and then you could either do a 15-minute if you just want to meet, or if you're really serious about becoming a student. And then what'll happen is you'll go in, you'll book a time, you'll request a time, and then it'll do a little application you fill out, and then from there, I'll meet with you, and what I'll do is I'll explain. I won't explain. What I'll do is I'll feel for what your situation is, seeing if I can help you, where you're trying to go. And if I can help you and bridge the gap, then I'll explain to you how it all works. And then if we decide together that it's a good fit, then I'll tell you how, I'll tell you what you need to do. And then say, Jim, I'm in, and, from there you're in. But for you guys, like for everyone that's coming in from your group, there's some special things that I'm going to do for you.
Oh, awesome.
That, and so if they're coming in through your group, then there's some extra special things I'm going to do that that's going to
we appreciate that.
Save you some money, right?
We appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. So, we're honored to have you do that. Thank you.
And I know you and I haven't spoken about this yet.
Yeah,
so when we get off, I'll tell you what that looks like and what that'll be. So that way, when people are talking to you, right? You're not caught off guard. But because you don't even know what right? So, But I want you to understand that, so that way when people are talking. And I know you don't want people coming back to you about stuff because you're busy enough.
Right. But I will take the time for your program, because again, it's one of the ways of the future. And I have several leaders up there, but I would say out of all the leaders, what you're doing, you're a little further ahead. I mean, that's not knocking them. I don't, you know what I mean? I've been knowing these other guys, but you're so seasoned at it. We're going to focus a little bit more on getting people involved in what you're doing. And if they take it seriously, they're going to see phenomenal results. It may not be overnight, but and let me ask you this: typically with your students, what kind of time frame, if they dig all in and do what you tell them to do, how long before they can start seeing results? Is that you can't put a time frame on it? I understand if you can't.
No. Well, here's the thing. Did you see Susan's video?
Oh, that was awesome.
So Susan came in as a frustrated wholesaler. She's retired. She's former military, retired, and has a situation at home too, where her husband got injured in the military. So she's a big why, right? Yeah. And, she's on pension from the military, but that money was running out. I got to do something, and so she came in, she followed my methods, right? We did our first one-on-one, and after the one-on-one, 24 hours later, she's texting me, because all my students get my personal cell phone number. Wow. She's texting me saying, "Hey, Jim, I'm at this house, and they invited me to come see it. They want me to do it, and it looks really nice, and the numbers make sense. And but I also have, based on what you told me to do, I got 2 other appointments today, and I got tomorrow. Wow. So I'll let you know how it's going."
That's amazing.
And I'm going, what? So then the next day she texts me, she goes, "I'm at this house, and this is the one I think I want to take. The numbers are beautiful yesterday, and I think we're in." I go, what? So then on Saturday, she texts me back. So this was Tuesday, the first day we met after she joined. We met on Tuesday on our first one-on-one strategy session. Wednesday, she's texting me the first time.
Really?
Thursday, she's texting me. Saturday, she's texting me and going, "Hey, I need the lease." And I go, "What do you mean you need the lease?" She goes, I'm doing a deal." I go, "You didn't even talk to me." She goes, "Jim, I just listened to your video. I know what I need to do. You already told me what I need to do. I'm just doing it, and I'm just following exactly what you told me." So I go, "Okay, here's the lease." She goes, "You know what? I don't even need the lease. This is the wording I need. We're going to use their lease, but you gave me the wording for the addendum. Send me the addendum." I sent her the addendum. She goes, I said, "You want me to help you put it together?" She goes, "No, I got it. It's pretty straightforward." On Sunday, she texts me. She says, "Wow, Jim, we got it." And Monday, she got it. So within a week. Wow. Now, everyone doesn't do it within a week.
Yeah.
But
That's
what
amazing.
happens is typically what my focus is, I keep it real simple.
Okay.
And I focus only on what you need to do to get your first place in the next 14 to 21 days. That's my goal.
Okay, that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
21 days. You may not have your keys in hand, but you should know which property you're going to get when you follow my methods. Right?
Oh my gosh, that's
so
amazing.
That's it. And then you're generating revenue, you know, within a month, during that month, within that 30 days, just like Susan. And she was texting me a couple of weeks ago talking about, I'm out here in Biloxi near the casinos. And I'm in more places. I'm going, okay, let's go. Let's go. So she's focused, but the systems.
It's amazing.
I keep it simple so that, so number one, you don't get overwhelmed. You know, there's a lot of courses out there. There's a lot of things you could do. And as an investor, I know I could talk and you could feel like you're drinking from a fire hose because there's so much that I've done. But no, that's not what this is about. This is about results. It's about results. So results are, keep it simple. If you just do this, and this is the result you're going to get, and then just do this result you're going to get, then you do this is the result you're going to get. And then once you do this for the week, by the time you're at the end of the week, you should have multiple properties that now from not where you're chasing people, it only takes 15 minutes in the morning. I just asked for 15 minutes. Just do this for 15 minutes.
That's fantastic.
Every morning. By the end of the week, number one, you would have been out to multiple places because people will invite you out. You won't be convincing people. People will be saying, "Hey Jim, hey Jimmy, I want to work with you. I want you to take over my place. Can you meet me at the place so we can talk about it?" And I'm not talking about garbage places. I'm talking about nice homes, like beautiful places.
So right here I'm in Covington. So with me and my wife, we do different things. But I'm just saying, we're looking to Covington is like 20 minutes from downtown Atlanta. It's very beautiful out here. So you're saying even in my area, you can show me what to do. Okay.
Even in your area, it doesn't matter. But here's the thing with Airbnb. This is what I tell people too.
Okay.
Right. Don't get into the mindset that when you do an Airbnb, it has to be in the prime
area that you're at, where you're living.
Fact,
I get that.
If it's in a prime neighborhood, you're probably going to be paying too much for rent.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Wow.
So what I say is you don't want to be in the worst neighborhood where people that are coming from all over the world, when they get there, they feel like they're not safe. You don't want
I got you. Exactly.
But you just need to be in a decent enough area. So if it's decent, and so say they're coming in because they want to they're coming to visit and spend time at the beach. You don't have to have a place on the beach. Why pay that? As long as you're 10, 15 minutes close enough to that, they're gonna be happy. They're going to be excited. Not everyone, but guess what? Airbnb is a billion-dollar platform, multi-billion-dollar platform.
Yeah.
In fact, they're going public this year.
Really?
They're going public this year. They're already expecting $100 billion IPO.
Oh my gosh.
So when they do that,
I'm going to invest in that.
Right now, Airbnb is where wholesaling was 20 years ago, where nobody knew what it was. So right now, it's not a household term as far as people know about it, but they don't know how to make money. Most people that are on Airbnb are not like me and my students where they have 10, 20, 30 listings. They're people that just have extra space in their house and they're just trying to earn a little bit of money on Airbnb from the extra space. They're not like us where it's a business. However, there's a lot of people that have heard about Airbnb. They just don't know how to make money. They haven't taken the time to figure it out.
It's amazing.
But when they go public, what's going to happen?
Oh my gosh. Yes, sir.
Everybody's going to start hearing about it. They're going to be like, okay, wait a minute. Now, I've heard this guy saying you could do it, and you could do it. So now, one of the things that most people know about wholesaling is that it's not always as easy as people are making it out to be.
Absolutely. That's right.
And it's not that wholesaling isn't simple. The issue that with wholesaling is that it's saturated.
I've been seeing that for the last year to my students. I'm like, you got to set yourself apart. Everybody's trying to do it. And then you have a lot of scammers and people that don't know what they're doing. And it's just devaluing it.
When I was doing it 15, 20 years ago, there was no one in the market doing it. So I was making money hand over fist. Today, it's saturated, and many people are also teaching the old same tired methods that I was teaching 15 years ago. So Airbnb is in the same place where it's not there's no real competition. Everywhere I turn, when I'm talking to my students, regardless of where I'm at in Miami, whether I'm in Atlanta, whether I'm in I mean, it's like there's people doing it. but the demand for people coming in that want to stay in Airbnbs is significantly higher.
Really? Yeah.
So what you're seeing is that people that are doing it, and this is what I show my students, one of the ways when we go into a place, I'm not guessing and figuring out how much money I'm going to be making. Like, I know what I'm going to make before I even go and meet with an owner. And
that's crazy.
Before they're inviting me out to come and take over their place, I know what I'm going to make. And so do my students. So it's not a guessing game. It's a science. We know. Right?
Wow.
Information. I don't care where you are in the world. I know. I'll show you how to do that. And,
fantastic.
And it's not software you have to pay for. It's just right there in front of your face.
Wow.
Right. So you'll know. And what you'll see is that everybody that's doing Airbnb in these areas, like, they got 600 reviews, 500 reviews, 300. I got over 500 reviews. You got 300, 200, 100 reviews. And the reviews are just some of the people that are staying there.
Okay.
So you see that there's a huge demand. There's not enough places. So people that are coming in, if there's not enough places, what are they doing? They're going to the hotels.
They sure are. Exactly.
So when you pick up an Airbnb and you do it my way, then what happens is it's going to be easy for you to start generating revenue because there's not a lot of competition. It's
fantastic.
Also, the landlords, right? They're still kind of in their own niche, just doing traditional rentals. They're not trying to do Airbnb yet until the blinders start to come off in another year.
Another year or two, yeah, exactly.
Right, and they go, man, I could be doing this stuff myself. Right now, they're just saying, okay, yeah, I'll do it. I'll take over my place, Jim. It's all right. And so right now, you're able to pick up those places as well. So it's not oversaturated with a bunch of people going out and asking, where the landlords are seeing that we have the ability to do some things that most people don't know how to do yet.
Gotcha.
And it's all new to them. So they go, yeah, sure, that's fine. Right. They know that we're going to be bringing our clients and our guests coming in and staying, and we're going to be hosting them, and they're okay with it. But a year from now, many of them are going to start doing it themselves.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Right?
So now you're saying now is the time to get involved.
Now is the time to get in when it's not oversaturated. Because here's one last thing I'll say about that. The thing about wholesaling, the reason why so many newbies get into wholesaling is because what? It's low cost of entry.
Right.
It doesn't require a lot of experience. It doesn't require you to own property. Right. And you can make money relatively quickly if you do it right. Right. That's why a lot of the newbies get in. And so they're all in that. But when they realize how easy Airbnb is, and there's no real competition, people are going to start flocking over. They're already coming. They're already starting to come, but it's a trickle. Right?
Okay.
And there's only, because there's not a ton of people teaching it out there, but there's enough of us. There's a few. But after it goes public,
that's crazy.
It's gonna get crazy. So we still have a huge window of opportunity probably for the next 2 years.
Okay. Wow.
You know, after that,
and that'll go by so fast. When it goes, it'll be fast.
It'll go by very fast. But the beauty of it is, how much can you do in 2 years? And then
a lot.
You preach it all the time. Where are you going to redirect your resources?
Yep.
Right? If you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and you have the resources to now redirect it into some other things that, you know, are going to even be more, you know, that are going to continue to grow.
That's amazing, man. I'm so excited. I'm so fired up. See, and the thing is, I wish I didn't have to go. I got to get on, but I could sit and talk to you all day about this.
Yeah, I know.
Guys, are y'all getting this? Okay. I'm telling you this. And I like your spirit because, again, you're open to helping other people. You could have said, you know what? I'm going to keep this a secret. Because a lot of guys are doing that. But I appreciate you, and, you know, you're a servant of the Most High. You serve God. And you say, you know what, God, you give me this platform. You taught me. You showed me, you know, and then I'm going to help people. You bless my heart, man. So one last time. Okay, so guys, so he's saying the best way to reach him would be on YouTube. I have his channel right here. You can go right here. This is his channel. That's one of his best videos there. And you just subscribe. And or you can go here and call him. I'm not sure. You don't have to wait for him to get back to you. But the number again is 800-314-1452, extension 812. And, you know, he'll get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. And he does on his Facebook page. Let me back up here just to show them your page one more time. You guys go here and like his page. You can leave him a message. Can they leave a message here as well?
Yeah.
Or do you recommend that? No.
You can go to the page, but if you go to, I mean, that's my page, but if you go to my personal profile.
Okay.
At Jim G Coaching.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Which you're also going to get.
Jim. Okay, here it is right here.
If you're going to get that profile, and then inside of there, one of the things you're going to see is where you can actually get to my private group inside of the bio.
Private group, yep. It's all inside. It's here somewhere.
Yep. So
schedule a time right there. Is that it?
You can schedule a time, but the Facebook group, get there from. So when you go, not that one, no, not that one.
Airbnb Empire.
Right there, yep. That's it.
Oh wow! So, all right, gotcha. That's it. Okay, guys.
So there's a community. So right there, and inside of there, if you want to, you know, you can, you know, if you're on my private profile, you can just hit me up with a private message or whatever, and you know, I'll respond because I respond to all my private messages.
Fantastic.
And then you can also request to go into, you know, to become a part of the group, and that's all free. It's open right now. I just have to you, and then and then from there, you know, just soak it up. Just soak it up right now. Just soak it up. Oh man,
fantastic. Well, again, man, I really appreciate you, brother. Thank you for taking the time out of your day, because time is important. Okay, you could have been spending time with your family, but you came out here to share with us. And guys, again, take heed to what you heard today. All right, again. My three takeaways: passion, family, and paradigm shift. Okay. The top of that is the passion, because the passion is going to give you the why, like he said. You know, don't worry about how. Your family, okay, and that's where it comes. It can't just be about you. Some of you guys may not have a big family, but your friends or the people who you hold dear, if you're not doing it for yourself, do it for them. All right. And paradigm shift. This whole thing that's going on with real estate. Airbnb is a train you want to get on, and you want to ride that thing all the way to the bank. Okay, do it now, because he said it's going to be worth of what, $100 billion. And trust me, when it gets out there and these other countries start hearing that, it's like it's just going to be coming from everywhere. Okay, and just do, you know, what I tell people when you hear a mentor say something, just do it. If he's been proven, if he hasn't been proven, that's another thing. But he's been proven, and again. Thank you. I can't, you know, I'm going to repay you by actually just, you know, allowing the people that I come in contact with to send them your way, and we'll give God the glory. Amen.
Amen.
All praises to the Most High. So with that being said, man, have a blessed day. And as I always tell everybody else, I'll see you at the top. You're already there. I'm going to get up there with you soon. All right. All of us. All right. Bye-bye, brother. Bye-bye. Peace.
Peace.